For a company that doesn't tell storylines, AEW certainly did its fair share of telling storylines in every single match of the night. But my God, my God, that is probably the most batshit crazy wrestling pay-per-view I have seen in a very, very long time. Welcome back to the Rantin Review Pro Wrestling, guys. Oh my God. AEW Double or Nothing 2024. What in the hell did I just watch? Oh my God. Oh, we're going to get into it. Wow, we're going to get into it, man. This is the thing with AEW, man. They can have some down periods. They can have like 70% of the wrestling media, dirt sheets, whatever, being against them, talking about how the company's going out of business, blah, 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 blah. Their attendance can be down. They didn't have a sellout tonight for Double or Nothing. The ratings can be down, but for God's sakes, these people can turn out a pay-per-view. They can make the pay-per-views is one of their strongest assets of all elite wrestling, and they proved it again tonight. It's going to take some time to think about it. But I would say right now this is definitely in my top 5 AEW pay-per-views of all time. This is just, I don't know, man. Let's get into it here. We opened a show with Roderick Strong defending the International Championship against Will Ospreay. This match gets a jump start. Ospreay jumps Strong before it. This is one of early contender for match of the night because this match was just phenomenal. We got the storyline bit in here with Roderick Strong apparently hurt during the match. Not really, kayfabe. Ospreay once again having to, you even see him say, again, battling with the fact that maybe he's hurt somebody in the ring, which has been a criticism about guys like Will Ospreay in particular for a long time. So it's interesting that they're weaving that into the storyline with him here. Don Callis comes up and tells him, who's on commentary, he goes to the ring and tells Ospreay, hey, don't be sympathetic. Go ahead and kill him. Break his neck. It doesn't matter. Blah, blah, blah. Almost backfires, but Ospreay does wind up defeating Roderick Strong and winning the AEW International Championship, despite what Don Callis wanted. That match concludes. And by the way, I got to give Roderick Strong's gas tank is amazing. That guy was not even breathing heavy as long as that match was and as much as they did in it and the sequences in it. It's definitely a match recommended on a card, one of the best ones of the night. After the match, Adam Cole, Bebe, comes to the ring. He gives a promo. I'm kind of thinking that this is going to have to do with the fact that Wardlow did a run-in during the Ospreay match and it almost backfired on them because Adam Cole's been kind of critical of Wardlow. I think there's going to be more to that story going forward. But we then get a vignette on the screen. And yes, after 5 months away, we found almost 6 months away, we have the official return of the devil himself, MJF, wearing a decidedly similar leather biker denim jacket that Triple H wore back in the day. I don't know. Maybe a little jab there or not, I don't know. MJF comes in the ring, cleans Adam Cole's clock. He then cuts a very impassioned promo addressing the criticisms about the end of his title run from last year, which he apparently also did not agree with, and vowed to go back to being the old MJF. And apparently his contract status, as he said to you, Marks, is no longer in question, obviously. And to solidify that, he has a tattoo on his ankle. Bet on yourself with the AEW Double or Nothing chip on it, which, I'm going to be here forever. We've heard this before. I mean, we don't ever take this stuff. If you're somebody who's going, oh, thank God, don't take this stuff as gospel. I mean, Kota Ibushi said he was signed with New Japan for 20 years and is never going to leave. Bret the Hitman Hart in 1997 signed with WWE for 20 years and he lasted about 3 more months. So never say never with these things. But it's cool to see MJF back. Without him, the Undisputed Kingdom has been pretty much of nothing, except for what Roddy has been doing. So it's good to see that getting some steam again. Oh God, there's so much on this card. Let's get to some of the other highlights on the night. The next match was for the Trios Championships. My personal feeling about the Trios Championships, I would like them to be kind of the Survivor Series style. If you're going to do the Trios matches, they should be eliminator matches. But that's neither here nor there. I was just a thought that I had, that I thought that'd be kind of cool if they were all like elimination matches. But this match between the Bang Bang Gang, no longer apparently Bullet Club Gold, defending those titles against Death Triangle. This is the first time, and I did not notice before they announced it on the show, we have not seen Death Triangle in AEW in an actual match in a year and a half. It's been that long. It feels like it was yesterday or like a month or two ago, but it's been a year and a half since Death Triangle had that whole series with the Elite, and that was the pre all out brawl out era of AEW. That Death Triangle here, this was a solid match. I did enjoy this. The guns are useless. Jay White is pretty much doing all the work for his team in this match. Pac took a nasty DDT. He takes a lot of those. Looked a little concerning. He may have banged himself up a little bit. There was a lot of that on this night as well. But just as soon as it seemed that Death Triangle was about to round the corner and become two-time trios champions, we get another return. Juice Robinson is back. He comes back to AEW, helps the Bang Bang Gang win, and he's lifting up a almost dead Bernie, not Bernie, I was about to say Bernie Sanders, a Weekend at Bernie's little moment there where he's propping up Jay White in his arms. It's pretty funny. Bang Bang Gang retains the championships. Of course, we're going to go to Juice's main squeeze, Timeless Toni Storm, and her defense of the AEW Women's Championship against Serena Deeb. The crowd was, I don't know, Deeb needs some work as far as getting people to get into her character. The match itself was really good. I think it went exactly 15 minutes long. It was a fun match, a good match. There is another storyline point in here. Mariah May was going to throw in the towel. Luther prevented her from doing that. And then Toni Storm thought it was Luther was going to do it. She threw the towel into the crowd. But it didn't need it. Toni Storm got Storm Zero from off the top rope on Serena Deeb, then did it again and get the win and retain the Women's Championship in an excellent Women's Championship match. We then had Orange Cassidy taking on Trent Beretta. The match I was looking forward to the least on the show, but they had a good match. It was a little too long for me. It didn't need to be this long. They're showing some changes in Orange Cassidy's character. They went back to the Pixie song that he originally used in AEW. And the match ends with Orange Cassidy getting it wasn't a schoolboy, but he did get a cradle, let's just call it cradle win over Trent Beretta. Beretta did manage most of this match. Afterwards, Rocky Romero's trying to talk to Trent. Trent blows him off and is like, I'm done. And he walks out through the crowd. I don't think this is the end that we're seeing of Trent Beretta. I think, given what Don Callis said later in the night, that he was going to be presenting a contract. I think the contract, they're trying to let you think that the contract is going to Orange Cassidy. I think it's a bit of misdirection. It's going to go to Trent Beretta, who's going to join the Don Callis family. Makes all the sense in the world. Again, for those of you from old New Japan fans, I still say one of the few things I ever heard from behind the scenes in wrestling was from the 2018 around then. There was somebody who did kind of leak to me that Trent Beretta was supposed to be the mole in that whole Bullet Club chaos thing from the New Japan years ago. But Trent Beretta has been trying to find his footing as a singles wrestler. He might be able to start that now if it is true that he's going to join the Don Callis family. Chris Jericho defended the FTW Championship against Hook and Katsuyori Shibata. This match was very entertaining. All Jericho's matches are entertaining. A lot of fans hate him. I still haven't looked up why that is, because it seems to be something more than what I know is the reason that they hate him, outside of just being bored with him. But Jericho's matches are entertaining, and I do like the Homelander thing that he's doing here, pretending that he was, really popular when he obviously isn't. We did get a run-in. We did several run-ins. We got Big Bill doing a run-in, and then we got a callback to how this match even started with the Outlaw actually siding with Jericho and helping Jericho get the win over Shibata in this match. Really, really fun match. Not one of the best ones on the show, but a fun match nonetheless. Jon Moxley took on Kenoske Takeshita in a qualifier match, or eliminator match. I think that's what they call it. I've seen people complain about this. I think this is actually the best way of booking this, because it's already announced that Jon Moxley a week and a half from now will be defending the IWGP Championship against Evil in New Japan's one of their biggest shows of the year, which is Dominion, coming up in a week. So if they were to announce this as a title defense with Takeshita, you're going to kind of look at it and go, Takeshita's obviously going to lose because Moxley's got a defense of the New Japan title in New Japan at one of their biggest shows of the year. They're not going to have the title change here, but making an eliminator match did leave the door open that, okay, I could see Takeshita winning that and then pushing it off to the future. Maybe he'll face Moxley or future IWGP champion. We didn't need to get into that. Again, another one of the best matches of this night. The storyline in this one is that Takeshita had injured Moxley's arm. Moxley's basically fighting this fight one-handed. Takeshita is obliterating Moxley in most of this match. This match is really, really, really good too. Definitely suggest you watching it. Jon Moxley ekes out a win over Takeshita, 17 minutes and 20 seconds. Again, one of the better matches on the evening. Then we get to the matches where they started swerving me a little bit. And I always say this, the wrestling company should be ahead of their audience, and in this case they were. A lot of scuttlebutt has been around about Malachi Black. I think it's the worst kept secret, or one of the worst kept secrets in pro wrestling, that Malachi Black, probably disgruntled with AEW. He is a friend of CM Punk. Everybody's kind of expecting him to wait out his contract and he'll be back in WWE pretty soon. This match, they did try to put some stipulations in it that if Copeland loses this match, he would have to go on bended knee and join the House of Black. However, Copeland kind of countered that and said that Brody King and Buddy Matthews would have to side with him if he won the match. So there's a lot of speculation going around that this is Malachi Black's last match in AEW, and that the transition would be that Brody and Buddy would then go be the House of Black with Adam Copeland. So we get a couple of big surprises in this match. First off, we've been waiting for it, we were expecting it, and we got it. The Brood, the entrance, the fire entrance. Adam Copeland comes out to it. He even has got the Brood logo on the Titantron behind him. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right, because WWE does not own that. That is owned by White Wolf Entertainment. Again, for those of you who don't know, long story short, Gangrel, the Brood, all of that stuff is trademarked to I believe it's called Vampire the Masquerade. I think it wasn't a card game, but a tabletop game. I can't quite remember. I never played the game. I knew people who did. But that was all licensed by WWE back in the day from White Wolf. And apparently the AEW is doing the same thing here. So they don't own any of that stuff. So a lot of Adam Copeland stuff WWE does not actually own except for the name Edge. So there you go. This match was brutal. It was a barbed wire steel cage match. All kinds of plunder in the ring, as Dusty Rhodes would have called it. This was bloody. This was brutal. I got a few flashbacks to Tully Blanchard and Magnum TA in this match. I also got a few flashbacks to think that this is probably the match that Edge wanted to have with Finn Balor a couple years ago in that Hell in a Cell match that kind of was a little underwhelming. I think this is the match that they wanted to have with that. And at one point, the Buddy Matthews and Brody King come to the ring, and I'm like, uh-oh, here it comes. They're gonna turn on Malachi Black, and they do. They stand beside Malachi, then they go stand beside Copeland. The crowd goes crazy, but then Brody clotheslines Copeland. So they did a double swerve on there. That was well played, because a lot of us, they know what's going on. They know a lot of us thinking that stuff's gonna happen. Get back in the ring, and then all of a sudden, as they're about to lay waste to Adam Copeland, some weird music goes off, and we're like, no, they didn't. They did not. Yes, they did. Gangrel comes from out underneath the ring, spits blood, he joins the fight, all of this crazy stuff. The end of the story is Adam Copeland won. This is another match you must watch on the show. We're at 3 or 4 of them now. Adam Copeland does finally get the win in 20 minutes of insanity, which would only be an indicator of what we were getting for the rest of the night on the show. Amazing match. I thought it was great. The only spot that I did not like is Copeland at one point in the match wraps Malachi Black up in barbed wire connected to the table. He goes up to the top of the cage, and I'm like, Adam Copeland, if you're not 50, he's over 50 years old. Do not jump off the top of that cage. Your body at 50 cannot take that impact. And then he didn't even do a dive, which would have been safer if he had just dove on top of Malachi Black in a splash or something, but he tried to drop an elbow, so his legs hit from 20 feet, 50-year-old legs hitting from 20 feet on top of the cage down to the mat. and he looked worse for wear. His leg or hips were messed up at the end of that match. I fear that it might be worse than what we thought. This is kind of the same feeling I got when I saw Eddie Kingston at the New Japan show against Gabe Kidd, and I was like, ooh, that looked bad, but maybe Eddie's okay. Apparently not, by the way. Eddie Kingston's going to require surgery, apparently. So he's going to be out for 7 months. I wonder if the same thing's going to happen to Copeland. But this was a great match. A lot of swerves, a lot of misdirects. They were ahead of the audience. That's exactly what you should do with this kind of match. And the Brood reunited. We got Gangrel and Adam Copeland hugging in the middle of the ring. We're not going to get Christian with this, but there's now an open door for a Brood reunion in AEW. The door is open for that. Maybe this feud is not over just yet. Maybe that'd be an interesting Wembley match. Maybe they get the Brood back together to take on the House of Black at Wembley. Or maybe on a Dynamite or some other show. Who knows? But that was a lot of fun. Then the 3 main events. Mercedes Mone challenging Willow Nightingale for the TBS Championship. I went into this match originally thinking that it would be best if Willow won this match because then that would allow Mercedes to turn heel. But hearing the crowd reaction for this after Mercedes did her very WWE sports entertaining entrance, the crowd was booing Mercedes. They were cheering for Willow. So Mercedes is already a heel, and she wrestled the match like a heel. So we didn't need her to lose this match for the heel turn. So it's no problem with the outcome on my part. This was another really good match. In fact, both women's matches tonight were really, really good. So I think the AEW's women's division has taken it a while, but it's finally getting back to, or it's finally getting to where everybody has wanted it to be for a while. This is a good indication that they're getting there. And remember, Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker are on their way back pretty soon to AEW. So lots to consider there. The story of this match, of course, is the ankle. Mercedes was going after Willow's ankle. Willow is basically the big bear. Just Mercedes will try to do something, and Willow will just paw her off. Like, just one point, she just took Mercedes' head and just slammed it into the mat from her knees. That was awesome. A lot of near falls in this match. Really good show. Really good match. Another one I suggest you watching. The atmosphere was there, and you can see why Mercedes Mone is one of the best wrestlers in the world. Many of us have forgotten, but she proved it on this night. She is an absolute amazing talent. And the other benefit of this, which is the whole point of getting Mercedes Mone in AEW and why it's been important, is the reaction for Willow Nightingale. Willow Nightingale is now a big star. She is now definitely a big top star in the women's division at AEW. Her name is going to be known. And her new outfit and the new look she had tonight definitely fit in with it. Stokely and Statlander. You got to talk about it. Once again, Stokely kind of may have cost Willow the match. Willow had Mercedes pinned, but Stokely was too busy running his mouth with Aubrey, the referee, that the count didn't get the 3 count. And we thought it was once again Stokely doing his thing. So that would have been cool enough. But after the match, Mercedes wins the championship. And which was a great show of strength. Mercedes Mone weighs like 95 pounds. For her to hold Willow Nightingale up the way she did, and to even get as much of her finisher as she got on her, that was pretty cool. But Mercedes wins the match as your new TBS champion, the face of TBS, appropriately so. After the match, Stokely seems to be mad at Willow, and then Chris Statlander pushes him down, and we're like, oh, okay. So maybe Stokely's going to side with Mercedes now, Willow and Statlander, they're walking off, and then I was like, wait a minute. And then right as I had that thought, there's Statlander slamming poor Willow on the ramp and then beating the crap out of her on the ramp, and that was it. You got Stokely laughing, and that was the heel turn. Stokely and Statlander turning heel on Willow Nightingale, making Willow Nightingale probably the biggest babyface in the women's division, probably one of the biggest babyfaces right now, all of women's wrestling, period, after this night, and a great showing by her. I think they got everything accomplished in this match that they needed to. Mercedes Mone showed that she can still go, and she's still as great as she ever was. Willow Nightingale has gotten the profile and the pop and the popularity that she has. They advanced the storyline with Statlander and Stokely. The match was great. You got now TBS associated with Mercedes Mone. All of that was good. Definitely recommend you watching that match as well. Still got more to go. Swerve Strickland defending the AEW Championship against Christian Cage. This match, fortunately enough, this match, unlike every other match of the card, started out a lot slower, so it allowed the audience to catch their breath after the crazy stuff they had seen for the last hour. So as we worked our way into the match, this is Christian Cage and Swerve Strickland being really great professional wrestlers and understanding where they are on the card and what they needed to do. So they slowed it down and then built it back up as the match went on. There's so much crazy stuff happening in this match as well. I'm not going to be... look, I'm just going to have to say at this point for the rest of the show. This is a good match. It's a slow burn match, but it's a really good match and a really good way to have Swerve Strickland defending his championship. And at the end of the day, he winds up taking down Killswitch, Nick Wayne, and Mother Wayne, getting them out of the equation. Prince Nana shows he's probably quickly becoming one of the best managers in the sport. And it is Swerve Strickland defeating Christian Cage, retaining the AEW Championship. Tony Schiavone had one of the best lines of the night. He was talking about, what a night, what a crowd. And then the camera goes to Mother Wayne, what a bitch. It wouldn't be the only great line Tony Schiavone would have on the night. We then get to the final of the three main events. The Elite, Kazuchika Okada, Jack Perry, and the Young Bucks taking on Team AEW, Bryan Danielson, Darby Allin, and FTR in a Anarchy in Arena match. I have to say this is probably my favorite Anarchy in Arena match that they've had. There is so much stuff in this match. We have people getting run over by trucks. We have people getting lit on fire. We have people getting dropped on poker chips. We have people getting strung up by their ankles and super kicked in the head with shoes that have thumbtacks on the bottom of them. We've got so many crazy moments in this match. We got Tony Khan paying God knows out the nose to play Final Countdown for a good, almost the entire song, because you know that's a tradition of Anarchy in the Arena. They kept playing with the song about, no, don't play this song, play this song. Don't play this song, play this song. It's unbelievable, man. There's so much stuff that happened here. It's unbelievable. I can't even do it justice. You have to watch this thing. It is insane. It is absolute Anarchy in Arena. It lived up to the title. The Elite won. Tony Khan even made an appearance. Jack Perry's coming back to the ring. He goes past the gorilla position, grabs Tony Khan, throws him out there. That's when Darby Allin comes out with the flamethrower and sets Jack Perry on fire. The Bucks have to put him off of a fire extinguisher, but Jack Perry gets the win at the end of the match with Bryan Danielson. And this is crazy. That's all I can keep saying. AEW Double or Nothing 2024, I have to say, is one of the, I will reiterate this, is probably the most batshit crazy wrestling pay-per-view you have seen, I have seen, anyone has seen in a very, very long time. There have been crazy pay-per-views like this before, but this is the first one of its kind that I've seen in a number of years. This was fantastic. It is right now. Early on, I was saying this card might be show of the year. Right now, hands down, this is the best pay-per-view of the year in all of wrestling that I've seen. So, and WrestleMania was good. Revolution was really good. Wrestle Kingdom was really good. But I have to say, this has hands down right now for me. Speaking just the show just being over, I'm coming away with this saying this is pay-per-view of the year so far. We still got 7 more months in the year, but it's going to be hard to top this show. But I want to know what you guys think. Let your voice be heard in the comment box below. If you like this video and you want to see more of them, please hit the like button, subscribe button, and the notification bell so you know when new videos come out. I will catch up with you guys later this week. We got other stuff on my other channels. I got a review of X-Men 97 up on the Entertainment channel, Rant and Review Entertainment, and we just finished the first game in the Hellblade series over on the gaming channel, Rant and Review Gaming, Senua's Sacrifice. So definitely check that out, because that game is freaking amazing too. If you haven't seen Senua's Sacrifice and you're a gamer and you like stories, you like Norse mythology and really, really cool stuff, that game is off the chain too. So definitely go check that out. I will see you guys next time here for more news, rumors, and commentary. I'm exhausted on the Rant and Review Pro Wrestling. Have a good day.